With the Call of Duty FFA over and with Reason's Gunshi finally being crowned champion, it was time for the players to get down to business in the Call of Duty 4 5v5 Search and Destroy tournament. Over 20 teams would be vying for the championship, many organized from the same clans, including 2 Reason squads, 2 ID teams, and 3 from BSE. Teams like X-League's RCE, Team V, and XG would have to muster up wins against some of the strongest 360 players in the world. But beware, for when expectations are as high as they are for Reason or Identity, the pressure can sometimes become insurmountable.
Well, there is a lot of pressure on us, but also Reason have come here probably favourites today, but we're putting up a good show and putting up a good fight.
Reason are without a doubt one of the best Call of Duty clans out there.
We'd like to get first and second, but I don't think I'd like to play them. We scrum each other quite a lot, so they know our strats, we know theirs.
All eyes would be on the 2 ID teams and both Reason teams, with everyone taking note of the 2 clubs' strong FFA placings. All 4 of these teams would use their high seedings to crush the weaker teams, and it wouldn't be until the later rounds that we see signs of weakness. ID Lime Interactive would be the first of these teams to be bumped into the losers bracket, but would hold their own until being joined by Reason Live, who met their match in ID's XL Gaming squad. Reason Live would get their revenge though, with a win in the losers bracket over ID Lime. In the winners bracket final, Identity XL would be up against, surprise surprise, Reason Gaming. Reason would get off to a very rough start, with ID absolutely thrashing them. Identity would only be 1 round away from the grand final when they simply fell apart. Grabbing the next couple rounds, Reason would make a spectacular comeback and basically have the match handed to them, when ID lost a round due to one of the Dutch players' creative use of the English language. Eventually ID would get back on form and pull it back, beating Reason with ease.
Yeah, we had a bad start, but teamwork always was a bit shoddy at the first 2 maps, but we pulled it through and managed to have a bit of a comeback. It's better than 3-0 down.
It was stupid because first round we owned, the second round we owned, and the third one we blew up, and yeah, it was just stupid, but we came back in the last one and we got it, and that's what counts.
The losers bracket final would be all Reason, and incredibly, Reason Live almost beat Reason Gaming. However, the veterans of Reason Gaming managed to pull the wind back into their own sails and dock in the grand final. That's right, Reason Gaming versus Identity. Half of the top 8 Call of Duty 4 FFA players would be in the grand final. ID, with a 3-2 advantage over Reason from their winners bracket encounter, would be the clear favorites. ID, already having learned a lesson from Reason that day, would not be taking the final lightly.
We don't underestimate them anymore. We did it after the second round and we lost 2, so not a third one.
The final would now be a best of 11, with Identity needing just 3 maps to win. 2 of these would come easy, as some fantastic offense and defense from Positive and South would bring ID 1 map away from victory. However, ID would choke yet again, and on the same map, vacant. Reason would use this momentum and draw the game out several more rounds. However, their hard work would just be expensive and tire them down too much. In the end, the XLeague.tv champions, Identity, would be the Call of Duty 4 kings.
We came here to win, and we wanted to prove that we were the best on COD, and now we've done that. And we should have re-owed them, simple as, in the winners bracket, and we basically did, we choked. And we managed to take the 3rd map, win it, and there it was 3-1, but all the maps were pretty easy, to be fair, apart from the one we lost.
Well, you win some, you lose some, don't you? But they're a top team, so we're not really too fussed about it. Well, we are, but it's better to lose to the best than lose to some randoms.
The Halo 3 FFA event at XL is unique to European Halo, and its final standings are used to help seed teams that are new to Matchbox 360. The top 2 FFA results from each team determines where they start in the double elim 4v4 bracket, so it's not that important for veteran players to do well, but vital for rookies. A bad seeding, and your team could be forced to even play an extra round or two. Devastation would be the biggest team looking to do well in the FFA, with their hopes pinned on Webby and the man with the stick of all stickies, the infamous Buck20. This didn't mean that the veterans weren't out to prove themselves, as there was no lack of big names taking part in the event. The presence of strong Halo 2 slayers, Lethal and LA1, and the superheroes of X League, the Incredibles Heaven's Wrath and the Fearless GriPz, showed the competition would be immense. An influx of European teams would also spice things up, with the likes of XL veterans Ethnic and Infernos, and newcomer Zicknex. However, most eyes would be on the creme de la creme of XL3, Omega, Vard, and defending champion Adamak, as well as a player slowly becoming known for his strong solo skills, Sing.
Winning the FFA would mean a lot to me. It takes a lot of skill and it takes a lot of consistency to get to the first place in the FFA.
Finishing top 3 wouldn't give you as much respect necessarily, but your name would definitely be out there, so then people will know that you're a threat in game.
I would really like to get top 8. I think the community will respect me a lot more than they do now.
It would be such an achievement, it'd be amazing.
Seeding is quite important and it's based on the FFA, and if you have 4 players entering the FFA, it takes the top 2 players that place the highest in the FFA to give you a seed. Getting a higher seed in the FFA will mean that your team gets a higher seed and they get host majority of games.
Here we are, FFA. Webby, how are you getting on so far?
Quite good. So far I've got at least top 32, so I'm quite happy with that.
And who's in your group?
Next I have to play against LA1 and Omega, so yeah.
That's a pretty tough shout. I mean, do you fancy, can you overcome them?
I think I can. It's going to be really hard. I haven't put that much preparation into FFAs, mostly just into 4v4s. But I think if I play the best of my ability, I can definitely win.
XL4 had no lack of upsets during the entire event, with the Halo FFA being no exception. Heaven's Wrath was the first of many surprises after being knocked out in the first round. A similar fate touched upon previous Halo 2 X League great Lethal, and even more surprising was the Halo 3 Deity GriPz going out before the semi-finals. Zicknex and Sing would slice through the semis and into the top 8 like a knife through butter. Infernos would also walk into the final with ease, along with Reason Gaming's Vard and a very consistent Omega.
Omega, you made the top 8 FFA for 2XL running. You came second last time. You're going to go one better and win it this time.
Hopefully. I mean, you always aim to win wherever you do, so hopefully I can get first this time.
And who are you up against? There's some big names up there, isn't there?
Yeah, there's a few known players, LA1 for example, but there's a lot of new foreign players as well that have come over and really proved themselves. Zicknex, Infernos for example.
Like, all we've been playing is 4v4, and I just walked into FFA and I told my manager, like, you might as well just enter us, you know, who knows what can happen.
So you're a wild card, effectively?
So yeah, basically I can get any position from first to like last, really. Anyone can.
My head's in the game, my controller's plugged in the Xbox, it's got to be a win. We'll be over the moon to win it. I don't know what I'll do, I'll probably like start singing or something. It's my birthday and I'm going to party like my birthday.